Let's Talk Oculus, a VR podcast, is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome back to Let's Talk Oculus, episode 183. I'm your host, as always. I'm Dan, and I'm joined by my co-host, as always. It's Samson. Samson, you're wearing a sweater that says 906. Why didn't you wear a sweater that said 183?
183. That was a pretty easy one to do with my hands.
Yeah.
I don't know really where. Well, I do know one of the area codes is in Michigan. I don't know where 183 is.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm impressed that you knew an area code, though. I don't remember area codes anymore. Ever since the landline has died, it's just, yeah.
I mean, people still have area codes via cell phones.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a Brit who has the one code.
What is your country code?
I don't know. Well, in the UK it's 44, but in Canada it's 1, right? Same as America. But yeah, I don't know what the area codes are.
Y'all piggyback on our number one there, huh?
Wait, Canada? Yeah, we do. You got a problem with that?
I don't know.
Someone might have a problem. Anyway, we got a fun episode today. We've got a few news stories, some really cool announcements. We're going to talk about, obviously, the new Walkabout course that is coming next week. Star Wars Beyond Victory. We finally got the details, and if you listen to last week's episode, I think we got it pretty spot on in terms of what it ended up being. There's some more updates for the games that we want to get into. Samson's played a lot. Samson, you played a bit of Trombone Champ and such, so we'll get into all of that. I've also played a lot of musical games. I've played Maestro and Harpagun, so we're going to talk about that later on. And also, there's a
Harpagun. Is that musical?
It has a musical aspect to it. There's also the Reality Bytes sale that's currently going on. If you're listening to this after April 27th, then it is over. You missed out. You'll have to wait till the next sale. But we've both put up some of our picks of the games that would say are quite notable, because it's a big list. It's a big sale, to be honest. But to be honest, as well, once you get down to the bottom of that sale, it's just pure App Lab, if not early access stuff. To be honest with you, so we went in and we made some picks.
I don't really get to the App Lab stuff in the sale, but
no, I went down a lot.
Good picks.
Yeah, I went down a lot. How's things in general, Samson? You had a good week. Recording this one quite late too, so it's been a week and a half.
Yeah. Had some good meals this week. Got in some good VR. I'm looking forward to the week ahead, but had a good week behind, and let's get to it.
Well, we do have as people of the show already know, but we are going to PAX East, which is only 2.5, 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away.
Yeah, it is right around the corner, as they say, Dan.
Yeah, which is gonna be very fun. So if anyone's going, please let us know, and then we'll come meet you at PAX East, which will be fun. I'll be there on Friday, Saturday. Samson will be there for most of the days, I think.
Yeah. There'll be, I know, a good amount of people there. Mateo 311 will be there. Rough Talk Dudes will be there. Noble Squashy's coming. Pretty certain the PSVR Without Parole people will be there. Cool. So it will be a VR party.
That'll be fun. I'm definitely excited. All right, a little bit of housekeeping as always. Discord community. If you haven't joined already, there's a link below. Come in there, ask your questions. Just connect with the community in general. It's a good time. That is below. And if you're in there, you've got the Walkabout tournament as well. The next season has begun. Season 9. It's
crazy, Dan. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So that has begun. So come join us. You don't have to wait until the next season to kind of enter. You just it's just on the week. On the week, the courses will be announced, and then you just play them and then send them in, and then you'll be able to get added in.
There's no accrual of points, so to say.
No, I think Pow in the Discord mentioned something like that, so I wanted to be quite clear about that as well. Yeah,
it's just fun and games down here, though it is pretty competitive. Dan, did you see race mode this week?
Yeah.
This week in easy mode was original Gothic, easy. One of my favorite courses, by the way. And race mode, third place, yours truly, 4 minutes and
Nice.
16 seconds.
Well played. Well played.
Dan, I recorded it. I submitted it to speedruns.com. I think I'm in 7th.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I
Top
can't
10.
believe it's only
Top 10's
7th,
pretty
really.
cool.
Yeah. But the top two, Dan, Baru Monkey in second and Danu in first, they were separated by 13 milliseconds.
Damn.
With 3 minutes and 58 seconds and 86 milliseconds for Danu, and 3 minutes and 58 seconds and 99 milliseconds for Baru.
That's crazy.
That's tight.
That must be just like one of those holes.
You took a breath.
Broom must have taken an extra breath or needed an extra tiny little bit to get set before hitting the ball, and that's all it is. It's 13 milliseconds. That's mental.
Wild.
That's mental.
Wild. Score mode though. Baru in third place with -17. Healing Entree in second place with -19, and in first place, Parody for Life squeezed in a score with -20. She submitted that late because she got caught up reading, Dan, and still came out in first.
She's so good. She can play this in the sleep.
It is one of her favorite courses, I believe, as well. So makes sense. And then the hard mode, Dan. Dan, which one was the hard mode?
I don't have it up.
It was we did it Thursday night. Oh, it was Temple of Zazura. Yeah, there we go.
I found it so difficult. I found that one so difficult, to be honest.
It was quite difficult, Dan. And the race modes show it, because in third place was 8 minutes, Liana, 8 minutes and 14 seconds. Then a big jump to the top two here. Second place, Parody for Life, 6 minutes and 36 seconds. And then first place, Baru Monkey, with 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I was just a few seconds off of third place, Stan. I was close.
Oh, nice. You well played.
But then in score mode for Temples Azura, third place, yours truly with -3. I did that Thursday night. Come hang out. 7 Eastern, we play LTO community nights of Walkabout.
And Samson, next week will be the Raptor Cliffs. Will be the brand new course as well.
Dan,
so even if you don't own the
plug.
course, come in and we'll have it. So you can play Raptor Cliffs with us at 7 p.m. on May 1st.
Great plug. Second place, Temples Azura hard mode, Parody for Life, -10. And in first place, eked out the win here with -11, Baru Monkey. Congratulations.
Wow. Fantastic.
And Dan, next week's courses, submit them by April 28th at midnight Eastern, Shangri-La Easy and Arizona Modern Hard.
Nice. They're good courses. They're definitely good courses to play for sure. So yeah, come on down, submit those to Healing Entree. Thanks, Healing Entree, once again for sorting that out. If you love us so much, join us on Patreon. Send us $1 at patreon.com/letstalkoculus. At $5 or more, you will get this episode a day early, even with an embargo, because even with this Walkabout embargo next week, you'll just get it a day early, but a few hours later in the day.
A little later.
Just a little later. Samson, let's do some listener comments. We have one comment from Jessica from Spotify. This is from LTO 182, so the last episode. She says, "Hi LTO, big fan of the podcast, and I need your help. I'm saving up for a Quest 3, but I already have enough for a 3S. Should I buy a 3S now or save up for the 3? Thanks in advance." Now, Samson, since we're recording this one late, I did reply to a little short answer. My answer was more to do with, I think you should save up with the Quest 3, but I said we'll get into a little bit more detail here. So, Samson, maybe let's start with you, because I've already kind of answered it a little bit in the comments already. What would you recommend?
Dan, I kind of happen to agree, but it is a good chunk of money. Right, and that good chunk of money that could go to games, right? Mm-hmm. But I think probably worth it to save up and then probably spend the $60 on the Quest Plus for a year and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, and it will come with 3 months free, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. So you can even try that out. And then, yeah, that's true. And then just go month to month. I always think so far in advance because it's such a good deal, the $60. But you're right, it is really a good deal, even just month to month, and then just kind of buy games that you like and go
Yeah.
from there.
The only thing that
But the lenses are so nice, Dan.
that's the thing, right? I think it's worth it for the lenses alone because I think I don't know if Jessica has a Quest 2 or is this is a first. If it's your first VR headset, then you could probably get away with the 3S and be quite happy for sure.
It also,
and you'll get Batman because that expires by the end of the month.
yeah. So they say it's true.
So they say
it sort of depends what you plan to use it for. I'd say also, right? Like, I feel like if you're I feel like all the use cases lean towards the Quest 3 Dan anyway.
Yeah, all the
if it's really just like a workout device or like want something really, that you're not going to be using it for really long periods of time potentially, the Quest 3S is perfectly adequate.
Yeah, it is. It is. By the way, you're cutting out slightly, but that's okay.
I'll try to talk louder.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's because we have echo cancellation on.
That's fine. I would definitely go Quest 3 just because of the lenses are so good and you get obviously the 3S has all the power, but as the 3 and there's no difference in there. If you want to play your games and such, you're gonna have a great time. But the 3S, there's just 3. The lenses are so clear, the clarity is so pristine that especially if you have like a Quest 2, or even if you went Quest 1 or something, you'll see the big upgrade. And especially if you have a Quest 2, because if you go to Quest 3S, it doesn't feel like much. Like I have both. I have the 3S and the 3. And the 3S, as soon as you put it on, if you're used to the 2, it's the old lenses, so it doesn't feel much of a difference. It's like, oh, I got a different looking headset that can play more games, but it doesn't feel much of a difference.
And color pass through.
And color pass through, yeah, I guess so. But 3S has, they both have color pass through. They both work well in that for sure. So yeah, I would definitely go for the 3 for sure if you can save it up, because I think with the games like we had a podcast last week when we went through some budget games. You can wait for sales, like we spoke about last week, and you'll have Quest Plus, and you've got so many games to kind of play around with in there. It's not like you don't get any games or games are quite expensive. It's not like you're buying a Switch 2 and Mario Kart's $100, or anything like that. So yeah,
I guess it also depends on your time frame, right? Like I don't know how long it's taking you to save up 300, because 200 is a significant chunk of that amount of money. You know what I mean? It's
right.
2/3.
Yeah,
math.
Math. You got it. You got it. Yeah, that is true as well. Like that $200 is no joke. That's still quite a lot of money to make up, and then that will obviously be $500. But obviously, remember that you get obviously way more storage as well, and the lenses.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's 512. Yeah, 512 gigabytes. So you might not need most of that, but some of these games are quite big now as well. So if you add the Batmans, the Assassin's Creeds, the Behemoths, those kind of things, it adds up.
I tried to play devil's advocate, but the Quest 3 comes out on top.
Yeah.
And waiting.
Yeah. I'd only get the 3S if it was like you're just there for social VR, like you're just there to play Walkabout potentially, which is absolutely fine, and such. But yeah, most 99% from the little information I know about you, Jessica, there's the Quest 3 for sure. But thanks for writing. All right. And when you do get it, let us know as well. Let us know. We can, if you want some recommendations on accessories and such, let us know. I have like 6 head straps in my storage downstairs. And, I've chosen the cheapest one to put on because I always find it the most comfortable. But anyway, let's move on to the VR news. Samson, we got a great surprise announcement. Walkabout's 33rd course is coming on May 1st, next week. It's called Raptor Cliffs. Samson, do you want to read the little press release blurb that they got right here?
Yeah, I'd love to. Dan, I thought you were going to say it was an Oblivion course and it shadow dropped.
No.
But Dan, pack into the family's wagon for Pacific Northwest road trip to everyone's favorite attraction, Raptor's Cliffs. This dinosaur-themed adventure park in the coastal redwoods has it all. Mini golf, zip lining, hang gliding, and the friendliest dinos this side of the Triassic period.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's gonna be the poster that they released with it. You can check that out on our Discord or on Twitter as well. Like it looks like more on the side of goofy walkabout courses. You know, maybe not as far as Meow Wolf or Upside Down and such, but in terms of just what the poster looks like, you can if you go, there's a couple holes that you can kind of see in the poster, and it kind of looks like there's a lot fun going on. You know, maybe like on a Wallace and Gromit kind of side. I don't know, potentially, but just a few extra details that they did release to us. There's gonna be 5 rideables, whatever that might be.
Well, Dan, it's something you can ride.
Well, I know that, but we know the literal Samson. But it's like,
I imagine there's going to be a pterodactyl,
right,
and other dinosaurs you can ride.
It's a dinosaur-themed adventure park, so it's probably just the actual roller coaster.
A rideable's probably a Jeep too. Maybe a Jeep goes around.
Maybe,
maybe like kind of like Jurassic Park.
It's gonna,
but Dan,
yeah.
What will it include?
What will include?
It sounds like you're about to include.
Oh no, I was just saying it includes 11 avatar customizations. It has the most animation since Wallace and Gromit, via several living and breathing dinosaurs to encounter, pet, and put amidst. So the new world features an advancement of Walkabout Mini Golf's low poly style, performance, and gameplay mechanics as well. And it also brings more 2D art than ever before, and souvenirs, which some of them will be available in real life at launch, probably on their website.
I will buy one.
I want to buy one, but it's just too expensive to ship it to Canada. Actually, no, I need to buy it, and I just need to send it to your house.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be there soon.
I feel like the developers over at Walkabout were just so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think that if they should build this course.
What are you talking about? I'm confused. I got confused. I thought we were talking about the merch, and I got really confused.
No, Dan, it's just it's a Jurassic Park quote, Dan.
Oh, I see. My head was going straight to the puffins that I can buy on the website because I can ship it to you, and that's why I got so confused.
I understand.
Sorry.
Just blinded by the
puffins. I was just straight away thinking, oh, I'm going to Samson's house in a few weeks. I could just buy the puffins to his house, put them on my bookshelf when I get back. It's going to be great. I've always wanted the puffins since they released them. And now I will. Anyway, I need to make a note of that. But yeah, I'm very excited about this course, Samson, and I think this is going to be a really cool theme to explore. Ed, friend of the show, who listens to the show as well, he tweeted that this is one of his like favorite courses that he wanted to do, and he's been like holding his tongue for a while. Samson showing the puffin on the video podcast. They look really cool. They look really cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
You excited, Samson?
Dan, I'm excited as ever. That is to say yes.
We're all excited. So we'll talk about this course in depth next week, because obviously it's going to be out next week, and then we can talk about it properly. We can talk about our thoughts of after playing it and such. So we'll give you all that in a little first impression / review next week.
Our thoughts will be much better after we play it.
Right. Or right now we can go by the press release and the poster that they've given us from now. But more next.
The dinosaurs sound really cool.
Moving on. Star Wars Beyond Victory, a mixed reality playset, has finally got its gameplay reveals. So at its like Star Wars Con event in Japan, I don't remember the actual name of it.
It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. So is Star Wars Beyond Victory, a mixed reality playset. That rolls off the tongue as well. Really long name. But basically, It's what we predicted last week, Samson. So essentially, it puts you inside the world of pod racing like never before. So you can watch the trailer, obviously, and see it. But what we're gathering from this is it's going to be virtual reality and mixed reality. And virtual reality, you'll be in like the garage in a way. Your pod racer is going to be there. You'll be fixing it up. You'll be making some
Probably
adjustments and
puzzles.
modifications probably to use in the actual races as well. Upload VR had a hands-on, and they got a really in-depth hands-on on their website. So I definitely recommend checking out. It's by Alicia Haddock, and it's a really thorough hands-on, which goes through a bunch of the details that she was able to play. And she did mention that in the actual the garage part, when you're with your pod racer making those adjustments, repairs, and such, she did say there's a lot of detail, a lot of finer detail in there. So it's going to be
It
really
does
cool.
sound like the coolest part to me.
For sure. So then
go on.
Then we got the second part, right? The mixed reality part, where you'll be pod racing on tabletop, and there's it seems like a little bit of a story kind of ask, but it's all going to be like tabletop. Like, it's not like a mixed reality game where you've got stuff all over your walls or anything like that. It's kind of a demio, like you're putting a table on top, and everything's on that table itself.
It's like a cutout of the course
right
is on your table.
right So you're doing the pod racing in mixed reality, and it's going to be in third person, so it's not like you're in VR doing the pod racing. Now I wish it was that. I'm not going to lie. I know we haven't played this yet, but that would be so cool.
Yeah, this pod racing does not look like how I want to be doing pod racing in VR, but it looks more like a mobile game kind of. It's sort of like an aerial view, a top down, and you're kind of moving side to side. It doesn't look like you can see much of the course, quite honestly. And then you're kind of like a mini pod racer. So it could be fun.
Thoughts are reserved.
Yeah. Well, my thought, I'm not reserving many of them, but they could change. My thoughts could change for sure. And I am looking forward to the other part where you're like working on your thing. That looks way cooler.
It does look really fun. Yeah, it does look really fun. The hands-on that Alicia talks about, she does say that with the top-down view, you can adjust the view, so you can technically be right behind the pod, and then and also depending on how big you've made the space, you can see obviously more and such. And it seems like essentially the way to win the race, and kind of this is just what pod racing is in general, is that you just need to avoid hitting any obstacles, because if you hit obstacles, you die essentially. But then there's items and such that you can craft or add to your pod, which then
so I'm picking up like arcade style, like almost like if you were playing one of those side-scrolling gun games where you're picking up shields or other homing different types of guns. It kind of looks like those types of maybe speed booster type,
for sure. It's cool. This is what we thought. We thought, like, judging from the
I will get it, Dan. It is Star Wars in VR.
And it will probably be like $30 to $40 max, to be honest with you. They're not really paid that much, but one more thing though, it does three more things, because it does come with 3 different modes. So you got an adventure mode, which is basically using the combination of virtual and mixed reality, and this is like a story. With this, it's basically a story mode. Arcade, which is you get to experience pod racing in mixed reality on the virtual holo table, is what they call it. And then you've got the playset, which is transform the physical world around you and create your own very incredible Star Wars moments in mixed reality with collectible, unlockable action figures. So essentially, these are like little toys, action figures and such that you can have on, but they're like animated and such. Yeah, but in mixed reality.
Will this have multiplayer?
Nothing. I don't think I saw anything about that. Not in the hands-on either. There's no release date yet either, but we're obviously assuming it's going to be out this year.
Okay.
Yeah. They also said, the little quote here, they said they were calling this a playset because it isn't just a game, it's an entirely new way to experience the Star Wars galaxy and worlds that we create at ILM. This new mixed reality experience blends the physical and digital worlds unlike anything we've done before, so we're excited to share its first special look to our incredible Star Wars community. I'm excited. I think it'll be really cool. I don't love the look of the pod racing top down. Definitely as well. Like it seems like I would prefer it in virtual reality and have it in there. Would be really cool. But that would be a whole game in itself, right? That would be like a Galaxy Car esque of how it would feel and such. So I feel like that would be very tough to do, but potentially in the future. So it's interesting that they've gone this route.
The playset word is weird to me. I feel like the only thing I've heard called the playset is like either a physical play thing that you're going to climb out in the yard, or like a Lego playset type of deal.
And that's what it is. That's what the third mode is, right? Where like you get all these unlockable action figures and vehicles and such, and they're all interactive. So that's kind of what it is. It's just that title is way too long, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's the game. It's coming out sometime this year. I'm sure we'll buy it and play it for sure. Samson, one for you. Get a Grip update puts gloves on Trombone Champ unflattened. It's the next update for Trombone Champ, and they added the usual extra trombones, cosmetic items, all that stuff, but an amazing new feature where there's a recorder built in. So now after you complete a song, you can save that recording of the performance. There's no longer you have to save it before you have to record it before you play it. Have you tried this out?
Dan, yeah, of course. I posted this in the Rough Talk Discord about 25 minutes after the update, noticing the update without my excitement of the update.
Amazing.
Is what I used to do is just hit record, and then I'd have to remember that I've gone 5 to 10, however many minutes, and then I'd want to stop and re-record so that my files don't get too big, type of deal. Whereas now I don't even have to think about it, and if it was good enough to I want to show off, then I just hit save at the end, and if not, I don't do it. And Dan, it works for the custom tracks too.
Oh, cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, it's a typical thing that you get from like a PlayStation or an Xbox of like it's recording 15 minutes or 10 minutes in the background continuously, and then you can save the last 15 or 20 or 12, 10 minutes or 5 minutes, however you want to set it. Nothing like that in the Quest, but it's cool that they can do that within the game itself. I think it's a great idea. Fantastic idea. Amazing. More on Trombone Champ maybe a little bit later on when you discuss what we've been playing. Moving on, Wanderer, there's a roadmap that has just been revealed. This is quite interesting because Wanderer released with a lot of issues, and they've already come out with one patch, and now they've been quite transparent and they've shown their roadmap for the rest of the year. And normally when you see a roadmap, you see obviously the latest stuff that will be added and all that stuff, but here it's more to do with obviously fixes. Patch 1 is due for sometime in May, which is currently in progress. Patch 2 is sometime June or July. And then they've also got a few things in beyond. So just a few things to kind of highlight there. In Patch 2 in July, there's going to be more performance, more combat overhaul, more general bug fixes and such, better NPC system. So from there, it seems like if you're looking at that, if you're not in a major rush, is kind of wait and play Wanderer after that patch 2, to be honest, is what it looks like. But
I mean, Dan, you see what's in patch ongoing?
That's what I was about to say. Quest 3 specific upgrades. A unique build for Quest 3 players utilizing custom parameters to provide visual improvements compared to Quest 2. I'm very surprised that it wasn't just released with that, to be honest with you. I think we've got to the point now where, Quest 4 is probably out next year, at end of next year, right? So you get to the point of this life cycle where these should be Quest 3 games to start, to be honest, when it comes to visuals. It's surprising that it needs an upgrade much later on.
Games have been in development coming out now much longer than...
Yeah, for sure.
Quest.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It's just, you don't get that.
The development cycle of games is now longer than the life cycle of Quest.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. I was like, you don't really get that on on PlayStation, to be honest. That seems to be when the new console comes out, the upgrades are in straight away. But it's a bit different too, because they're basically just PCs at this point. So it's a little bit different how that works. And also they go on for like 7 years or something, not like Quest, which is, it seems to be every 3 years or for 3 years or so. Yeah, at the moment. But yeah, so it seems like we might not need to wait too far for that, to be honest. But it seems like I probably will jump back into it in July or August. Or if when it gets to that point, I might be like, you know what, I'm just going to save it for the holidays and wait till that Quest 2 upgrade comes out. Yeah, so it's an interesting one, but they've released that. So yeah, if you've got Wanderer, unless you can't wait, I would say just wait until it gets fixed, because there's a really good game in there, but we've got to get those bugs fixed too first. Speaking of bugs, the Titanic VR experience is now available, but it's in early access only. I'd caution to buy this because it only includes the exploration mode, which allows you to explore the shipwreck. It's at full price. I think it's like $25 or $20 USD. But I would probably say wait. I saw a lot of reviews and a lot of people weren't happy and saying it's not working properly and such. But all the responses from the developers, like, it's in early access. It says early access and such like that. So it does say that. So unless you really want to jump into it, I can't wait to try this, but I'm just going to wait.
I know my friend Froggy said that the experience was sort of lacking in his mind. I bought the bundle on Steam, so I got it, I think, for $14.99. I have not hopped in yet, though. I've not had time to experience Titanic VR, so don't spoil it for me. I don't know what happens yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happens either. It seems like something about a really big boat, and it looks pretty cool.
I hope they have enough lifeboats.
I hope so too. It's unsinkable though.
It's huge.
Yeah, we don't need lifeboats. It's unsinkable. Next news story, 2 more left. Synthriders gets invaded by aliens in this new Challenges Plus update. So this update is brand new. It's free. It's out now. The update adds aliens who intend on messing your run, achieved but through various methods like on-screen notes disappearing or changing colors. There's power-ups that you can use against other players, and you can use it against the aliens as well. And then there's also asynchronous challenges as well that you can play with in multiplayer. Samson, have you tried this out yet?
I have not. No. I'm not the biggest fan of those aspects of Synthriders, if you will.
Right.
But they do kind of make it more fun for a more casual play session, if you will. And it sounds like they're taking what was just in the multiplayer and giving it like a single player effect, right? Like, so you can still get that experience when you're alone, right? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Well, that's one definitely to try. Final news story. This is actually kind of just like a little side topic here, is the Reality Bytes sale. So this is a sale which includes a ton of games. It ends on April 27th at midnight Pacific time. So definitely have a look at there, go through it, grab a few things. Samson, did you pick anything up? I actually didn't pick anything up, but I did write down a few notable picks.
No,
I everything I kind of already.
I already own everything I'm recommending here.
Yeah, right.
Well, not if like, I don't own Ancient Dungeon on Meta, but I own it on Steam. Yeah.
So you go for your picks first. What have you got? Ancient Dungeon is obviously one of them.
Yes, Ancient Dungeon is one of them, Dan. For $13.99, fantastic game. Roguelite dungeon crawler. Recently.
Oh, Samson went for a
Pardon me. Recently added a lot of new content, whole new floors, new upgrades, if you will. You can do it single player. You can do it co-op. You can do it 3-player, Dan, and you can do it 4-player.
That's true. That is true.
I
should pick this one up because I don't have this one.
Dan, it's a great time. Friend of the show, Noble Squashy, is quite good, and love to hunt. Go through dungeons with him. We tried to on Sunday, but he had you had your typical VR friction situation, so he ended up in Bocce time, which you can hear about later on.
Nice. I've got a few picks here. Alien Rogue Incursion. I haven't actually played this, but it's just a really good sale. It's $20 USD. I think it's normally like $50 USD or something like that, or 45.
And it's a little bit of a faux pas to recommend something you haven't played, but I understand.
I just thought it was a really good price, but I'll recommend the other ones then. Red Matter 2, 15 USD, which is one of the best looking puzzle games that you can buy, but you should definitely play Red Matter 1, which is on the game's catalog already anyway. Vampire Masquerade Justice, very like Assassin's Creed-esque kind of game in a way. A fun little stealth game, and it's only 15 USD. Humanity is a really cool puzzle game. It doesn't need to be in VR, to be honest. It doesn't really add too much, but the whole aspect of this game is that you are controlling one person in front. I think it's a dog, to be honest, and then there's like
a Lemmings game.
Yeah, ish, but there's like 1,000 people following the dog essentially, and then you guide the dog, or you guide the character essentially around the like puzzle, but you're trying to save as many of these like people as possible. And there's like one, I haven't played this for a while, but there's like one special person as well that you get like more points for. But it's all about perspective, so you want to like rotate around, but you can also just use the thumbsticks, and it gets really challenging as it goes on. But it's a very, very good like a relaxing puzzle game. Like you can play the seated, no problem. But it works just as well in normal. Like in not normal, in flat screen. So
I understand.
But for 17 USD, it's a great little puzzle game.
You're crushing through them all, huh?
Yeah. And the last Clockwinder as well. The last Clockwinder is $9. That's an absolute steal. It's a great puzzle game. I haven't finished this one yet, but I had an absolute blast whilst playing it. It uses what would you call it? Remembrance?
I would call it clones of myself.
Clones. That's exactly. I don't know why I went remembrance. Yes, it uses clones, so you can basically you do an action and then you can clone yourself, and then that clone does the same action that you programmed it to, and then that's how you kind of solve the puzzles. But it's a really fun little game, and it's all like in this one little room that keeps changing depending on what floor you're in. So yeah, that is the games that I've picked. Samson, you want to rattle off the rest of yours?
Yeah, I'd love to, Dan. Miracle Pool for $15.99. Just received some good updates as well. Good time if you're looking for pool.
Best pool game, hands down.
For sure.
And mixed reality game. One of the best
hands
mixed
up,
reality
hands
games.
Down. Come on, let's. I forget the rest.
Let's play some pool.
Yeah, this is Limp Bizkit. I don't know. It's been a long time since I listened to it. Dan, the little Skybox VR player, $6.99. If you got some movie files you want to watch, things like this, it's a solid app, and that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Synthriders, $14.99. Dan, one of my favorites. If you want to dance, feel like you're dancing and maybe not actually dance, Synthriders great. A lot of DLCs out there, a lot of custom tracks, and a pretty good base game as well. And they still release things for updates that are free like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then 11 Table Tennis, $17.99. Great, table tennis. This game doesn't go on sale all too often, and $30 is pretty expensive. So I'd say swoop in if you want to play some table tennis. Tetris Effect, $17.99. Dan, I love Tetris, so Tetris Effect, $17.99 is going to get my recommendation. And last but certainly not least is Puzzling Places at $8.99, because it's a puzzle, man, and it's a good
because
one.
it's a puzzle.
And they also do monthly packs, DLCs, but they have a pretty good base. It's a good amount of puzzles. Mm. And if you're willing to put in the time to do 100, 200 plus puzzle, it's going to take some time.
It's a really good sale. There's a lot of big discounts in this sale, which kind of relate to what we spoke about last week when we went budget games under 25, under 20, under 15, under 10. If we add all the like sale ones, there's so many great apps that you can get for a good price. So yeah, check out that sale. Go pick out a few things, and remember to check out the queststoredb.com. to see the sale history, which is always a really handy feature as well. Samson, that will do for part one. Part two, we're going to go into what we've been playing. So we will see everybody then.
Hey, we know public lobbies in VR games can be a bit toxic, feel a bit empty at times. That's why we created the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, a friendly community that you can join for multiplayer meetups, general VR chat, the game, and chat about VR, fitness motivation, and there's even a very impressive 3D printing channel. Join over 100 of our community members in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord for free. The link is right in the description.
All right, welcome back to part two. What we've been playing. Samson, I'm going to start here. I know you have a massive scroll of a list here.
Well, Dan, I will say you don't list Walkabout either, but I know you got in Walkabout.
I did get into Walkabout, yeah. I don't list everything unless it's like something new, to be honest. But so I'm going to start off with Maestro. Finally got into Maestro after, 7 months or 6 months. It's been out now. It came out in October. I was traveling at the time, so I missed it. And then I've always had it on my Quest. I've just never played it. So I decided to jump in whilst the new DLC, I can't remember what it's called now, like the Doom DLC.
It's like Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, it has Lord of the Rings, the theme tune. It has Game of Thrones theme tune, and it has like 3 other pieces that you would recognize as well. They're very popular. I couldn't tell you what they were because, when it comes to classical music, I have no idea what these songs are called, but I know what they sound like, because I've heard them so many times.
You've watched these movies so many times.
Right. So I jumped into Maestro now. If you played the Maestro demo, which is still available, the start of the game is still like that because the demo is essentially the tutorial. It's teaching you how to play. I did it fully hand tracking. I think the first time I played was with a controller, but fully hand tracking, and I used a pencil.
That's the way.
I used my pencil as a baton, and it worked perfectly.
Fancy.
It worked absolutely perfectly. So I got through the gist of it. It looks really good. Very, very little bugs. Sometimes it just randomly pops, but it's nothing crazy, to be honest. Did my first song in front of the live audience and got all the roses thrown at me, which was really nice. But then I got into the menu system, and the menu system is cool because the main tutorial guy, I don't know his name, but he always comes to you and he has like a dish, and he opens the dish, and there's like in the dish he'll have like on the serving plate he'll have like prosecco or champagne and such. He'll have like a rose from the last one that I did well and whatnot, but then he'll have some other stuff. So there might be cards for like new not courses, but new things that I've unlocked. Like you can change the baton, you can obviously unlock songs as well. Not all the songs are available. You can change the theater as well, the theme of the theater. It seems
all the
like
settings.
All the settings, yeah. Anything. You can change your hands as well. You can change like pretty much everything, and you unlock different items. So there's tons to unlock. But it's so funny because I like grabbed the champagne. I drank the champagne, and then I just threw the glass on the floor, and he just looked down on the floor and he made a comment, and it's actually really funny. It's always great when just some things like that are made, like they've programmed it to work as expected, which is great. So every time I grab something now, I keep throwing it on the floor, and he keeps looking yeah, he keeps looking, which is funny. Anyway, one thing I noticed that these classical songs, Samson, I don't know if you've ever like put one on, but they're like 15 minutes long normally. But in the actual game, they're much smaller.
They're the abridged.
Yeah,
the radio edits.
They're the radio edits. They're all 5 minutes. Some songs are like 1.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes song. Like the Game of Thrones theme tune, obviously just being a theme song, it's just 1.5 minutes. The Lord of the Rings one is like 5.5 minutes. So it kind of varies. I don't think at the moment I haven't seen a song that's longer than 6 minutes, but I haven't locked all the songs yet, so there might be. Part of me does wish there was a bit of a longer song, but at the same time, I'm like, that would be quite
arms get
exhausting.
tired already.
Yeah. So playing on easy, absolutely fine. I can do all the songs so far that I've played. Easy is no problem. Playing on medium, it just depends on the song. You're right, though. When the songs are the longer songs, like the 5-minute 30 Lord of the Rings, I struggled on because I got really tired and there's a lot to focus on. It just takes practice. Where the Game of Thrones, I played on medium. not a problem. Actually 100%ed it, no problem, right? So it just depends on, and plus Game of Thrones is much slower as well, and it's the same kind of thing throughout the whole 1.5 minutes. It's not like variations where a lot of the Rings there's a high part, there's a low part, there's they cut that song so many times and play it in different places in the actual film and such. So but yeah, responds really well. I love the settings. So with this new DLC pack, they also give you everything else like new avatar for yourself, new baton, new hands, or etc. But they gave you a new theater as well. So the theater is actually very similar to the original theater, apart from where the orchestra is. It's like you're in like Mount Doom in a way. It's not actually themed cool. from Lord of the Rings, but like you're on like almost a fire pit, and there's like a big stone pathway going up to this big like school looking thing. And Samson, oh my gosh! So you know how like at the start you turn around and you address the audience, you maybe give them a little bow and such. You're getting character. Well, in the Mount Doom one, I'm going to spoil it for people. So if you want to jump ahead 15 seconds here. But there's a skeleton just there, and when you turn around for the first time, it does jump at you and then makes you jump. You're like, I think it does that every time, but only like at the start when you first turn around and address the crowd.
That's great.
It jumps at you, and it's right in front of your face too, and it's like, whoa. And it's so funny too. There's another thing as well. Like, yeah, you can change everything. You can also change your orchestra. So the orchestra, I changed it to the Doom Pack orchestra, and they're all like, they kind of look like Vikings. Like they all have those kind of like horned hats on and such, and those costumes. So it's quite funny. It's really funny, and I'm really curious to see what else you can unlock for the orchestra and see who you get to play with. It'd be hilarious if there was one. I haven't seen him, but it'd be hilarious if there was one like a cartoon version where they're all like I don't know, like they look like animation cartoon characters in a way. That'll be hilarious. But the only one more thing I'd say about it, Samson, before I pass it on to you, is that this game is fantastic. It's really fun. But the difference between this one and Trombone Champ is like silly and it's brilliant. It's so much fun. And I feel silly whilst playing it, but in a good way. It's really fun. Maestro is also, it's a fantastic game. I'm having a great time with it. But I'm so serious whilst playing. Like, I really feel like I'm conducting that orchestra. I feel like Bugs Bunny in the Looney Tunes episode, and I'm looking at each one, and I'm pointing with a lot of ferocity, and I'm deadly serious while playing these. And plus, because it's classical music as well, there's something about that type of songs.
Gets you more amped up.
It does, yeah. I'm not going to lie, I've been hyped. I was playing it just before we came on the pod as well, and I was like, I'm feeling pumped. So
I was wondering why you came in so hot.
I get it. But yeah, Maestro, having a great time, having a blast. Have you managed to play the new DLC? Or
I have not
yet? No, it's a good fun. It's a fun time. It's a fun time for sure. But yeah, Maestro, definitely get it if you're into something, a rhythm game that's different, and really gets you into character. It's so much fun. Over to you, Samson.
Dan, I got into Hyperdash, which is a new old one because I haven't been in Hyperdash in a minute. I got in, Pow's got in there, and a few others. It was like 6 of us, I think. Mm-hmm. We did some payload, which I'm not sure if you know this mode, but one team is defending a sort of a train that's moving through the level. The other team's trying to stop it, and you have to at least one person from your team has to be on it for it to move. And like halfway through, there's a checkpoint. My team lost that. And then we did some team deathmatch, and we did some solo deathmatch, just regular deathmatch, if you will. Hyperdash is a great time. Definitely way different than playing Breachers, like way more just arcade. There's like 5 different guns, and obviously a dash effect and rails to get around. It's very fast-paced.
It's free to play, right?
It is free to play now.
Yeah, really cool.
Good call. Cool. Bury that lead. Dan, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Trombone Champ as well.
Excellent.
Because I've been getting in some Toots. And what I did was I had about 40k Toots. And I was just like, oh, let me just exchange them all for cards. You had to go $4.99 at a time. So I was doing this a lot, and then I had all these cards, and then I bought every glove and every trombone except one, because now there is a quote "do not ship" trombone, and it cost 1,000,000 toots.
And wait, you had 40,000?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, doesn't it take you ages?
yeah.
I need to see what this looks like.
I think it's 1,000,000 toots. I could be wrong. It might be. I might have added a 9. It's very expensive.
No. It does. Yeah. It costs 1,000,000 toots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of saving, and I'm not going to buy any more cards.
It's a chicken, I think, is what it is.
No, I have the chicken trombone.
Oh, you have the chicken one. Okay, I definitely did not. Okay, fair enough. Maybe it doesn't show me. I'm trying to find. Oh no, it's just like a transparent trombone. That's what it is. And when you play, there's money that drops. No, I think that's just because it's 1,000,000 toots. But it's a transparent trombone.
I don't know, Dan, but I'm not buying any more. I'm just saving toots from now on.
Yeah, of course.
It's the last thing I need in the game.
Yeah,
on the Quest version. Well, I haven't finished all the. There's still a few little check marks I need on a couple songs that are very, very hard.
Yep.
But I get in there here and there, and play a couple songs a week, and slowly they build.
I've just been looking at it whilst you've been talking, and they call it the imaginary trombone, is what it is.
It's very cool, and
it's very cool.
And I wasn't really even close, so I'm gonna have to start playing a lot more Trombone Champ.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's so many toots. So many toots.
You do. I feel like you get a lot though for each song.
Considering you had 40,000 and you've played quite a bit, that's a long way to go. But alas, get grinding, get tooting.
Exactly.
Get tooting.
I got to eat more beans.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dan, you want to talk about Harpagun?
Yeah, go on then. Harpagun, this is the latest game. It's an indie title, but it's made from some of the creators of Superheart and Toy Trains as well. A couple of good games there. And Harpagun is so this code was given to me for full transparency. So was Maestro, to be honest with you. But it's a very fun game. So Harpagun, to give you the premise of it, essentially, I didn't know anything about it. I'm not going to lie. I just put it on and I just played it, and I was like, okay, I get it. So it's an action arcade kind of game. So what you do is it's a very standing game. Like there's not much movement in terms of yourself, but you're moving on rails, essentially. It's one of those like teleporting
pistol whip type of deal. Oh, I see.
No, you're teleporting to different nodes, and
nodes get like Zombieland.
Yes, yeah, kind of like that. And with your both hands, you've got this Harpagun, I'm assuming is what they are on your hands. Clues in the name. It can do two things. At least it can now. I haven't played a bunch, so I've only played a few levels. But you can grab things. So you can grab stuff. You can like manipulate the world a little bit. So like, for example, if you're trying to get past somewhere but you can see a rock that's blocking you, if it's small enough, you can grab it with your Harpagun and you can whip it out the way and such, so you can interact with some of the environment to kind of get through puzzles like that. And then you can actually shoot, so you can actually just shoot with the gun itself. And you have these enemies. The enemies are kind of like a weird little spidery like enemy, but
they don't get you.
No, they're okay. They're like on the cusp. I'm not gonna lie, they're on the cusp. And there's a lot of them too. But then you've got that, and then you've also got these other enemies that are a little bit taller, but they shoot projectiles at you, and you can't really. I don't think you can shoot the projectiles anyway. But you have to just kind of get out of the way. Sometimes when you've got your little teleports in front of you, there might be like 3 different places you can go to, so you can just teleport back and forth. This game gets chaotic though, Samson. Like the amount of enemies on screen at one time, sometimes it gets mental, and you're going back.
It's just waves. It's a lot of waves.
You're traversing through the level, and the art style is really nice. Like the actual art of the world is nice, but the actual NPCs and how they die and such is very like hand drawn. It feels like it kind of gives me some Cuphead vibes to a certain extent, to Cuphead's like gold standard when it comes to that, but like when they die, it's like a big splat, and it's like someone's definitely hand drawn that and such, which is really cool. So you are traversing through a world, through different levels and such. But yeah, you get to a area, and then you have a bunch of enemies. You defeat them, then you progress in an area. Think of a Gears of War kind of esque, where you would get to an area, take out all the enemies, then you can proceed to the next area and such. Kind of similar like that. So yeah, there's not too much to say. I don't know how much this is. I think it's like 20 USD as far as I'm aware. I could just quickly check whilst we're talking here, but I wouldn't spend more than 20. Yeah, it is 20 USD. 20 USD. I think it's pretty good for that price. It's a fun like little arcade shooter. The music is wicked. The music's actually really nice, and it gets you jamming. You feel like dancing whilst you're playing it and kind of getting into a rhythm, even though it's nothing to do with the rhythm game. But it does. The music does like intensify when your health is going down, and goes back down to normal when your health is okay and such. So, but the music's really cool. Good. Yeah, and the music's really good. And there's like a big like monitor or a TV that's kind of following you, and there's two different people on it, and they're kind of hilarious as you're going through, providing commentary on the game and providing you help to try and get to the next level and such. So that's kind of following you around. But yeah, there's not much else to talk about it, to be honest. It's an arcade shooter. It's kind of it's not like Zombieland in terms of it's like a leaderboard chasing shooter. It's definitely more of a story shooter, shall we say. There's boss fight, for example. So there's a boss fight where there's one giant boss, and you have all these little enemies also in the arena, but the actual giant boss has areas on it that you need to grab with your Harpagun to take off, and then you got to shoot what's inside that. So you got to go around it a few times and try and get past it. But then it's chaos because there's so many enemies around you. So yeah, it's like a proper story kind of game. I couldn't tell you what the story was at the moment. I think I've just completed the first like main part up until the first kind of boss, but it's a fun one. It's a fun one for 20 USD. I'd say this is probably the max you'd want to pay for it, but maybe for a sale this would be a good pickup for sure. But yeah, great music, great art style. The only one downside I would say is that the shooting doesn't feel satisfying, to be honest. I don't know if that's just the lack of haptics in your controller. The actual shooting aspect of
that's no good.
Yeah, that's the only one thing that I'd say is that could be improved. But aside from that, it's just a fun little game.
Well, there you have it. Dan got into some bocce time with Noble Squash, and we realized that it's got 4. You can have 4 teams of 2. Right? So you can have up to 8 people in bocce time now.
Oh, cool.
And another thing, he changed it so that you could basically have no rules. So you can essentially play bocce anywhere you want.
Oh, cool.
So like at the pier level, we were on the 2nd floor, and we threw the bocce balls down to the bottom floor, and we were just played that way. So you can kind of like make it. It's kind of
make your own kind of map in a way.
Exactly. You can kind of make your own course.
That's really fun.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about winners and losers. We had a good time. And
continue.
Classic. This week I got into Breachers with my Behaptics vest, of course. A good time as always. And I got into Walkabout. I won't go into depth on those this week because, Dan, you know what else I did? I got into some Pinball FX again.
Oh, cool.
And, I got some friends on the leaderboards above me, and it's bothering me. So I hopped in. And there are 3 you get for $10. I think it's worth it for the 3 base.
Yeah.
I don't know. In fact, I do know. I don't really think all the DLCs at $10 or $15 each is worth it. There is one, I think, that is you get 3 tables for $10.
You get it.
That might be more worth it. Yeah.
There's another triple pack, but I think that's there is one that's like $15 in there as well. Just depends on the license, I guess.
Exactly. But the base one is Curse of the Mummy, Sky Pirates, Treasures of the Clouds,
Mhm.
and Pinball Noir. I haven't played the Sky Pirates one yet. I've been hooked on. I really like Curse of the Mummy. It's my favorite so far, and Pinball Noir is okay. Now, I'm not enjoying it as much, but Boy Brown has a really high score, so I've been playing it more
Yeah.
just to try to get there.
What is
And
it?
I got the Adams Family, which is also it's okay if you're
What
like,
is it with the Curse of the Mummy that really like sticks out for you?
I'm just when I could just hit the things I'm trying to hit, right?
Oh,
So
I
like
see. Yeah,
in
yeah,
pinball, you want to hit the
yeah,
same
yeah.
spots over and over again. In Pinball Noir, the things I can hit consistently are not point based. They're just useless, and I can't hit the proper things. And at one point, there's like a revolver clip in the middle,
Yeah.
and you can move it from side to side. And so you need it to be on certain side to activate certain things. And I'll finally get it to there.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. And then I'll go to hit it to what is now available to me, and I'll just close it off immediately. It's a great time. It's a great time.
Yeah.
Love pinball. But I think if you've got a PC that can do UEVR, I think your best bet is to play Pinball FX there for the DLC tables. But the mixed reality is a pretty cool effect for the Quest version, so it's still worth it, I think.
And you can set out a few mixed reality pinball machines, so you don't have to just do one. Yeah, you can like set up a room with a bunch of machines if you wanted to, which will be cool for sure. Nice. Do you play much Star Wars pinball at all, or is that like
I haven't played it in a while? Yeah,
that's
for a while.
That's fair.
Citra VR, Dan. I've been playing Detective Pikachu. I finished the first chapter. Apparently, there's 9 of them. I looked it up, and it's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun game. I never played Detective Pikachu before. It's weird having Pikachu have like a deep voice,
right,
and it's embarrassing sometimes when I don't know what to do.
I've never heard of this game. Like I've heard of the movie, obviously, but I did not know.
You didn't realize it was based on a game? I got you.
No. I thought the actual movie was just the movie. I didn't realize it was an actual video game. What do you do in it?
Dan, I've linked to it in the podcast notes if you're curious about it. But you solve crimes. So far, a necklace was stolen by I forget the Pokemon's name, Apium, I think. And
my Pokemon knowledge ends at Gen 3.
That's sort of mine too. So, but I just read it or saw it, so it looked like a monkey, and I got the necklace back for this girl. Nice. I did it. Me and Pikachu.
Nice.
And there's a bigger overarching plot of I believe my father is a detective and he's missing, and Pikachu. Well, I don't need to get into spoilers, but Pikachu was my father's.
It's decent.
So I did get into spoilers.
Well, I remember that from the movie, actually, to be honest.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
It's just plot. It's not spoilers.
It's just plot. It's just plot. They did release Detective Pikachu Returns on Switch. Why have I not heard of these games? I have no idea.
Dan, there's a lot of...
It got good. It was like, it got 8 out of 10 on IGN and 7.5 from a lot of other places. So, like, it's a decent game is what the reviews are saying. But, cool.
Yeah, I sort of Googled what the best, highest rated, must-play 3DS games were. Yeah. And I was like, oh... Detective Pikachu. I think this seems like less of a commitment because I like Zelda. Pokemon. Than like playing a whole Pokemon game or a Zelda game. Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair enough. The Zelda Link Between Worlds is absolutely amazing.
And the saving it is though you can't save I can't hit start and save. You just switch screens and it auto saves. So the saving is fairly easy too.
Fair. Yeah, fair. Oh, that's really cool. That is really cool. I do I still really want to get a 3DS. There's a lot of games I didn't play, and you can never. I mean, in the Quest it works well for sure, but you can never replicate those two screens anywhere else. To be honest,
Dan, I like it a lot with the huge screen because I
yeah.
didn't quite realize how there were there are cutscenes, full on cutscenes
Oh, really?
in this game. Yeah, they're not elaborate or anything, but
Sure.
I was like, wow,
That's cool.
This is where the Switch came from.
Yeah,
Clearly, so clearly.
Clearly, you see the evolution. Yeah, you see the evolution. Very cool. Very, very. Did you have a 3DS back in the day at all, or?
Yeah. I still, I guess, technically do. I loaned it to an old friend of mine, who I hope still has it somewhere.
Fair enough. All right, that'll do for part 2 of what we've been playing. In part 3, we'll get out the game. We'll get out the games this week.
We'll get out the games this week.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll see you in part 3. Let's Talk Oculus is available on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. If you want to see the video version, it's available on YouTube and Spotify. And also, if you love us so much, then consider throwing us $1 at patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. Back to the show. All right, welcome back to part 3. The game's out this week. Just like good old times, Samson. We haven't done many episodes that we've had part 3 games out this week for a while. We've always mixed it in with
they're back
stuff. So they're back. Samson, why don't you... Actually, you've been talking quite a lot. Let me say the first one. Elements divided. Bend fire, water, earth, and air. They are the elements. In chaotic, online, combat, and co-op. Elements divided lets you become the peak elemental warrior, moving your hands to summon, attack, and defenses, leveling up your character by using your powers to hurl yourself across arenas. Elements Divided, coming out this week, or as you're listening to it, it's already out.
This definitely is like a Rumble.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's definitely like it feels like a classic multiplayer kind of game. This is not for me, but it's for somebody, Samson. It's for somebody.
Yeah. Probably not for me, because I have Rumble and I still haven't hopped in. And Noble Squashy is always trying to get me to play that one, and I'm just never really in the mood.
I just want to shout out. There's one review on the Quest on the store. There's quite a few, quite a few reviews. But the one at the top is from Orphan Obliterator, and he or she or they put, "This game saved my family. This game is so good that it saved my entire family. Once I showed them the game, we all gained godly powers and became immortal. These devs must have done something right, because I've never felt so more powerful in my life. You might not have the same result as me, but I know you all have fun. Love this game." What a glowing review. Glowing review.
Yeah. Save your family.
This is only $10. It's in early access, to be honest. I didn't notice that, but it's out. Yeah, it's out this week. Samson, what is the next game?
Next game is Ghost Town. Step into the boots of Edith Penrose, a witch turned ghost hunter who walks the haunted streets of London, tracking and exorcising. Not exercising, but exorcising. Restless spirits. Use a combination of wits, mystical knowledge, and ancient magic to help Edith glimpse beyond our world, see the unseen, and overcome the unearthly puzzles placed in her way. Life has been going well for Edith, the paranormal detective agency she runs with her flatmate has never been busier. She is almost up to date with her rent, and the ghosts in her bathroom mirrors have been less demanding than usual. But Edith's world is turned upside down when her brother goes missing, and a mysterious new lead promises to reveal clues of his whereabouts. Edith's journey begins with a visit to a remote Scottish island in the hope of a gifted clairvoyant can provide some much needed answers.
It's 26 USD as well. That might be on sale. It might be 30 USD actually, because it's on like a pre-order sale. But by the time you're listening to us, it's already out. So sales no more. Samson, this one really interests me, to be honest. It's a game that I'm probably curious to see the reviews, but I think I'll definitely wait until at the end of this year.
Gotta hear what Live Open Mic says.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know a bunch of content creators have got this. It looks a lot like Seventh Guest, maybe just a bit on steroids because it's like obviously built from the ground up, brand new title. Yeah, it's a game that really interests me, but I kind of these kind of games I just like to save for the season. Save for that
Makes sense.
October, November season. So I don't think I will be picking this up this week. I'll probably continue with the backlog as we all have. But yeah, I'm assuming this is not for you.
No, not at all.
Very fair, very fair. All right, I mean that'll do. That's our podcast, Samson. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Ta
Oh,
ta.
ta. Samson's got a little puffin in his hand from the video podcast. What are they made out of? They're like 3D printed, basically. Kind of
Gold.
thing. They're made out of gold. That's why they're like $8 or whatever. They're not expensive.
I don't know. I don't think it's 3D printed, but I don't know. It's like a rubbery type of material.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I plan to buy at least three. At least three. I think they're $9 each. So I'll make sure I buy them this week so they get to you in time. Otherwise,
Yeah, the shipping takes a while.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it before ordering. But yeah, that's everything that we have this week. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks everyone for watching. As always, remember you can write in at Spotify or Discord or YouTube and all that stuff. And if you've made it to this end of the podcast, you already know that. You already know that. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening, watching. We will see you next week for another episode of Let's Talk Oculus. Bye bye.